for the fans, welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Downtown Atlanta is the location, and the final matchup of the Season 17 regular season is the occasion. The Atlanta Swarm hosting the St. Louis Gladiators on a beautiful Georgia afternoon at the Hive. Both of these teams are in the playoffs, and now it's a chance to determine the seeding. Atlanta can get high as number 3 with a win today. St. Louis, they're going to have to go on the road in the first round, but will it be the 9 seed or the 12th seed for the Gladiators? For the final time in the regular season, hello and a very warm welcome to this afternoon's broadcast of the Simulation Football League on FTF. My name is Michael Turillo. Happy to have your company. I'm also happy to have the company of Mike O'Neill. Mike, this is going to be an impressive battle on the field today.
Yeah, Mike, this is insane. This is a crazy matchup here as we're coming into this game, and these are the number 1 and the number 3 rushing defenses in the league right now. St. Louis is at number 1 in the league, only allowing 55 yards per game. Atlanta's not far behind them, sitting at number 3, only allowing 73. So we could see an air battle today on the field.
And what's really important for St. Louis is going to be shutting down BDG Hollywood. We know Atlanta loves to run their offense through their running back, but with one of the top 5 rushing defenses in the league, it's very possible.
Absolutely. And my key matchup to watch today, BDG Hollywood, Atlanta's got to get him involved, but creatively. We know the St. Louis defense is wonderful, so they've got to try and find ways to get him and maybe their tight end involved as well.
Atlanta wins the toss, chooses to defer for the second half. That means Semi Steele will get set to get us underway. It's the sky blue tops, gray bottoms for the Swarm. Kickoff right now from the Hive. White, or green, white, green, for the St. Louis Gladiators. And they will start at their own 24-yard line. On the field at quarterback is Christian Brown. For the Gladiators, he's joined in the backfield by running back Cairo Martinez and fullback Bill Cherry. Paul Dillevue and Eagle Mondave, the wide receivers. Phil Cause and Guy Clausen, the tight end. And a bit of extra protection for that backfield in the form of Patrick Kelly and Jacob Stevenson. First play from scrimmage for the Gladiators. Come into the game at 6-5. Brown sets and fires across the middle, and that's complete. Out towards midfield to the 46. Phil Cause right there on the reception. And we were talking in the Discord pregame, Mike. That is one of the most important things that you mentioned is get the ball to the tight ends.
Absolutely. With with these run defenses, I mean, you know Atlanta's coming down in here expecting to shut down the run. This is a great opportunity. They're going to be running Cairo Martinez out of these heavy sets, try and get Phil Cause the ball.
They did there to great effect on the first play of the game. Here is the run up the middle for Martinez, and the Swarm defense holds for a gain of only 2. Here is that Swarm defense. Chris Porter, Billy Ray Valentine, Leo Jefferson, and Joshua Williams on the defensive line. Aquantis Shine, Garrett Hudson, and Cree Higgins at linebacker. Cornerbacks Jack Napier, Jay Rock, and Jay Miraculous. And Moose Papineau and Chris Henry are the safeties. Second and 8. Brown in the shotgun snap. Going to fire to the far side of the field, tapping the toes and picking up the first down inside Atlanta territory is Paul Dillevue.
Yeah, Dillevue just doing an excellent job running an out route here, being aware. The best part is he's aware of where the sticks are, so he runs past the first down marker before he makes his cut, and then a great job by Brown just finding him on the sideline.
Dillevue led all receivers in receiving yards last game for St. Louis in their win over Louisiana last week with 91 yards. Brown again over the middle, pass complete. And they're going to pick up another first down into the 30, and it's Phil Cause again.
Yeah, once again, just a big matchup to watch here today, Mike. Just a really, I mean, you talk about these corners for Atlanta, each have a pick 6 under their belt this season. And so, you know, if I'm St. Louis, I'm trying to get it to the tight end.
Middle, Martinez made himself skinny and got through the first level. He's rocked down for a gain of 5 at the 26. Nice big old tackle coming up there from Moose Papado, the 4-season veteran.
Yeah, Cairo Martinez just getting a little shifty there in between the tackles and picking up a great 5 yards on first down.
Excellent diversification from the St. Louis offense so far in this drive as they approach the Atlanta red zone. The under center snap goes to Martinez up the middle. Oh, excuse me, that is Bill Cherry, the fullback, on a dive, 3rd down and 3. And this is really where the Atlanta front 7 can pin their ears back and go to work.
Yeah, Bill Cherry, Mike, averaging 3.3 yards per carry on the season. Pretty good. Whenever you got a 1-2 combo like that, you got to use them.
Brown to throw. Over the middle, over the top, caught inside the 10. Beautiful little sidearm delivery, and the receiver went up and got it. Eagle Mondavi made the catch, and now each of the wide receivers for St. Louis have a contribution on this opening drive.
Yeah, Mike, a great play. It's nothing special. It's just really just a fade route. Nothing crazy, but he does an excellent job getting up and getting it, going up and getting it. And he's already over 1,000 yards on the season, so you know he's going to get some touches today for sure.
Mondavi, 1,054 yards coming into the game. Martinez, nowhere to go. Look out, there's Joshua Williams to make the tackle, and it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, no doubt that this is a respected Atlanta defense here, Mike, and they're not going to give up much in between the tackles.
Eagle Mondavi, top 10 in both receptions and receiving yards this season. Brown to the back of the end zone, knocked away. Excellent job on the back end by Jay Miraculous. It will be 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, these Atlanta DBs got hops, I'll tell you that. That is a great pass break up there. You see it's just a tight end running an out, or a corner route, excuse me, to the back of the end zone. Just a great job, heads up by the defensive back for Atlanta to just be aware of it.
They were looking for Phil Cause, who scored all 3 of the Gladiators' offensive touchdowns last week against Louisiana. Let's see what St. Louis has for 3rd and goal. Empty backfield, 4 wide, 3 right, single left, 4 down linemen. Here's the 4-man rush. Christian Brown has time, throws to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Broken up across the middle by Moose Papano. Both safeties getting involved on this drive, and the St. Louis Gladiators drive stalls inside the red zone. They will be forced to kick a field goal with Taz Von Wolfswinkel.
Yeah, nothing new here. We know this Atlanta defensive back room is stacked. So just a good job by the defense here, holding St. Louis to 3 points. But I think for St. Louis, this is a win, coming out and getting points on the first drive.
Something I did notice on that drive, though, for St. Louis, as the kick is up and good, St. Louis takes a 3-0 lead, is Christian Brown never really lingered in the pocket. He always got the ball out there quickly, whether it was on a slant or a corner. Maybe because he's a little bit frightened of what this Atlanta Swarm front 7 can do if they can get past the offensive line.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Mike. And the big thing, they teach you in practice, you want to get the ball out. Your release needs to be under 3 seconds. If you're holding on to it under 3 seconds, it's going to be, the defensive line has a good chance to get to you. So great job by Christian Brown getting the ball out, and, hopefully he can keep that up throughout this game. I think that might be a big factor here.
Casey Morgan on the return for the Swarm, brings it out to the 33-yard line. Good starting field position for Atlanta.
And we talked about BDG Hollywood. Atlanta's got to get him involved somehow.
And here is BDG Hollywood in the backfield. Brian Dynasty is the quarterback under center. Dynasty to throw, underneath, complete. And a nice tackle made by Drew Reilly. Here is the starting offense for Atlanta. Brian Dynasty at quarterback. BDG Hollywood, the 10-season veteran at running back. Mitchell O'Brien is the fullback. Wide receivers, Siege Falco, Boo Chisholm, and Ryan Roosevelt. And the tight end is Jamal Wooding. I formation on 2nd down and 6. Plenty of time to throw. Now the pocket collapses, and down goes Dynasty. We mentioned the St. Louis rushing defense, but how about the pass rush from Matthew Holford, the rookie?
Absolutely great job by the rookie coming out on this defensive line, just working on the defensive end, finds an opening and ends up getting a big sack there and setting Atlanta up in a 3rd and 13, which is really not where they want to be right now.
Yep, running offenses do not want to be behind the chains, and Atlanta is right now. 3rd and a long 13 right from the 30-yard line. Dynasty takes the face mask high snap, immediately has to roll over to pressure. He's going to be sacked again. 2 straight sacks for the Gladiators. Igor Barbatov straight up the middle untouched.
Absolutely just crazy how the offensive line just lets him go straight through there. Dynasty trying to do the best he can to move around in the pocket, but great job by St. Louis. Back-to-back sacks, forcing this Atlanta offense to get behind the chains and have to punt on 4th down. Big win for St. Louis.
Chris Smith is the punter, and his punt is up and away. It's going to be excellent field position for St. Louis. They will start at their own 45-yard line. Not much on the return for LC Mondavi. But we've got about half this first quarter gone, Mike, and it's been a comprehensive performance so far for St. Louis.
Yeah, doing a really good job. Like we talked about, a big factor is going to see how Christian Brown continues to get the ball out of his hands. They know it's going to be tough running against this Atlanta defense. Let's see what they draw up here on 1st down.
Twin tight ends left. And it's going to be short over the middle. Phil Cause there again. Gets about 9.5. Stopped just short of the 1st down marker by Chris Henry. And if St. Louis is committing to this passing game, which it looks like they are, Moose Papineau and Chris Henry are going to get a lot of work in today.
Absolutely, especially with the tight end working in. Phil Cause has got 7 touchdowns on the season for a reason, so definitely be on the lookout.
And as I mentioned, 3 of them came last week. Again, they like this twin tight end set to the left. This time they come underneath to the other tight end, Guy Clausen. Needed 1, got 2, and it's 1st down into Atlanta territory.
Yeah, Clausen just really working against the outside linebacker there and running into the zone at the corner. Just a quick out route, but good job because that's a very finicky ball to throw by Christian Brown. He did a good job there.
And an excellent job by the St. Louis receivers. That's the 2nd time in this game that they've just gotten to the sticks, got the 1st down, and no more. That, unfortunately, is not the greatest throw by Christian Brown. Led his running back too far out of the backfield and ended up losing a yard.
Yeah, I think you hit it directly on the head, Michael. Christian Brown's got to throw that a little bit earlier. I love the play call. I love, trying to get Cairo Martinez involved in the passing game, get him to the sidelines, and let him make some people miss. But we'll see what they can do here now after a loss of 1.
Only 29 targets on the season as a receiver for Cairo Martinez, so mostly a power back, and he is in the I formation this time on 2nd and 11. This time they're going to go to Bill Cherry, and he's going to be run down. No way he can get away from Chris Henry and company. Jack Napier, the Joker, also in on the tackle, 3rd and 12. So Atlanta giving a little bit of St. Louis their own defensive medicine.
Yeah, great job by Atlanta. They're just playing soft zone cover, playing some hard zone coverages on the outside into the flats, and does a good job stopping it.
Now let's see what St. Louis draws up on 3rd and long. Christian Brown just going to air it out down the sideline, and it's intercepted. Jay Miraculous, and that might be one of the easier interceptions he's had in his career.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Jay Miraculous really just manning up one-on-one against Eagle Mondavi and does a great job going up and getting it. But let's be honest, that wasn't a good throw by Christian Brown. That was not where it needed to be. They try and tell you that you want to put it outside, over the top, to where if the receiver has to lay out, he can. But nonetheless, great job by this defense for Atlanta, trying to make an opportunity.
Maybe he kind of misread the route. He thought that maybe Eagle Mondavi was going to cut back to the inside. Here is the ever-dynamic BDG Hollywood. Picks up 8 yards on his first touch of the ball game.
Yeah, this is what you want to see, Michael. This is exactly what I was talking about. Getting BDG involved in the passing game is going to be crazy. Fun fact, all 3 of Atlanta's losses this season have come whenever BDG has been under 100 yards, contained under 100 yards in rushing.
Hollywood middle, and he's not going to get anything that time. Beautiful tackle wrap up in the hole by Rodney Panani, and If you talk about run defense, it starts with your linebackers filling the gaps.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Great job just plugging the hole there, really, and setting up a 3rd and short for this Atlanta defense. You want to not let them get too much momentum after the pick.
3rd and 2. This seems like Hollywood territory, but we have seen the St. Louis defense step up, this time up the middle, and not going to get there. That was Mitchell O'Brien. They tried the fullback misdirection on the backside, and it does not work. Freeman Peltier up on the corner blitz makes the stop.
Yeah, great job getting creative there a little bit for St. Louis, but you see why this defense is the #1 rushing defense in the league. Great job holding them to 4th and inches, and we'll see what St. Louis can see if they can bounce back after the interception.
2 straight 3-and-outs for the St. Louis defense. You got to be feeling good. If you're the St. Louis defensive coordinator over there on the sideline, you've done your job so far, and now St. Louis got to create a little bit of space. They've had good chances. They were inside the red zone, ended up kicking a field goal, and then they had a drive going, but was forced into a bad throw and ended up throwing an interception. So Atlanta's defense is really keeping them in the game as much as the St. Louis defense is. It could be 14-0 right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll see what they have drawn up.
Martinez, nowhere to go. This is a matchup of the 2 best run defenses in the SFL, and we're seeing it right there. Billy Ray Valentine charging over blockers to make the tackle.
Yeah, just great run defense, and I know this is we're going to sound like broken records here, Michael, during this game. Both of these teams have outstanding run defenses.
This time the fullback dive to Cherry once again. Nothing doing on the run for the St. Louis Gladiators. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL. We put the fan in fantasy. 3rd and long again for the Gladiators. Christian Brown, time to air it out into double coverage, and it's intercepted again.
And this isn't their game. This is not St. Louis's game. Coming into this, you see this Atlanta defensive back room. You know that they've got everything it takes to get all these takeaways, and just a great job by the defense by Atlanta. Really, St. Louis has got to get the ball to their tight end and their running back out in space. That the only way they're going to do this and have success in the passing game is through creativity, Michael. Nonetheless, nothing to take. I don't want to take anything away from Atlanta's defense, but that was incredible for them.
Yeah, and that's a 2nd consecutive bad pass by Christian Brown to end a St. Louis drive. And now BDG Hollywood breaks through the hole and picks up 6 to midfield. That was the 27th interception on the season for this Atlanta Swarm defense. Jack Napier leads the way with 7. Jay Miraculous also has 7. It's just no fly zone in the defensive backfield.
It's unbelievable what the secondary can do.
Heavy set now, looking to try and get BDG Hollywood going. It's going to be a free play. It is going to be Hollywood on the outside, nowhere to go, but it will not matter because the defensive line moved a little early, so it's going to be a free 5 yards for Atlanta.
Yeah, nonetheless, just a great play by the linebacker there to get out in space and to read that they're trying to get BDG Hollywood involved in the passing game on these screen routes. Great job. I know it was a free play. It didn't count for anything, but it's the fact that he was aware that it was going on.
And we've seen it so many times, Mike, throughout the 10 seasons that BDG Hollywood's been in the league. They love that play here in Atlanta. Think you're going up the middle. Make the opponent stack the box and then just get BDG Hollywood outside and let his legs do the work. This time they're going to try it again to the opposite side of the field, and this time it works like a charm. First down, Atlanta.
And this is
and
why it's dangerous.
To the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, this is why it's dangerous.
3-0 Gladiators over the Swarm. Playoff positioning on the line in the last game of the regular season. This is the Simulation Football League Sunday Spotlight presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Second quarter on tap from the Hive in Atlanta. The Swarm driving to try and tie or take the lead, down 3-0 to the St. Louis Gladiators. Snap to Dynasty. Oh, look out! The pocket collapses. The pressure gets there again. It's the third sack of the first half for St. Louis.
Yeah, Michael, we're looking at a potential huge factor in this game. This is the third sack. Like you said, this could be a big thing to watch. Something about Atlanta's offensive line is collapsing against the St. Louis defense.
And that's the third different player to get one. Barbatov has one, Holford has one, and now Mike Balat has a sack. Now on second and 16, and looks like Dynasty didn't really know what to do with the ball as the pressure was coming off the edge again. Just tried to dump it short to Hollywood, who couldn't hang on third down and a long 16 when we've seen both teams struggle when behind the chains early in the game. St. Louis has already thrown 2 picks from that position.
Yeah, it's Atlanta really has to have something dialed up here. I mean, if you're Atlanta, you've got a great receiver in Siege Falco and even better Buchism with 1,158 yards on the season. Let's see if they've got something dialed up for him.
Let's see if Dynasty has enough time. He's already been sacked 3 times today. He's going to go short over the middle. It's complete, but not nearly enough. Only to the 36-yard line. Ryan Roosevelt picks up the catch, but it'll be a long field goal attempt for the Atlanta Swarm.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough kick. Oh, they're going to punt it.
Punt.
I love it. Yeah.
So that sack must have knocked him out of field goal range. And they're just going to try and look to play the field position game. Chris Smith trying to pin St. Louis deep. It's going to bounce and be caught and down at the 6-yard line. Beautifully done by the special teams unit for Atlanta. We've seen that across the board this season throughout the entire league, really. The punters and gunners have done a fantastic job pinning teams inside the 10.
Absolutely. Well, that's what they get paid for, Michael. That's exactly what you want to see, especially with an Atlanta defense that already has 2 interceptions on this game. This is a perfect situation for Atlanta's defense.
Flipped over the middle. Punt or pass caught, up to the 21-yard line. And that's Guy Clausen, the other tight end. So it's not just Phil Cause getting the work on offense, but St. Louis still most successful when they hit their tight ends.
And this was one of my huge factors coming into this game, Michael, is that their tight ends, the whole reason, I mean, St. Louis is running this jumbo set, which means that their tight ends can be matched up against outside linebackers. That's the only way St. Louis is going to have success in the passing game.
This time they're going to try Cairo Martinez. Can't escape the waiting arms of Chris Henry, and it's second down at 8.
Yeah, great job by the defense up front for Atlanta, not letting St. Louis have 2 big plays back-to-back and slowing down the momentum and really making them go back to the drawing board.
Again, 2 tight ends to the right. Cause and Clausen. It's going to be another run for Martinez. And he gets 3 more, third down and 5. And now St. Louis can go to maybe a short out like they've been doing.
Yeah, just a little trap play to Martinez, trying to catch Atlanta off guard and trying to get Martinez the ball before Atlanta can even think about being in the backfield. But nonetheless, a 3rd and 5 situation.
Brown, time to sling it, and that's a fantastic defensive play because Bill Cherry was outside in all kinds of space. He leaked out of the backfield, and Cree Higgins with the clutch knockdown to negate the drive for St. Louis and give Atlanta the ball.
Yeah, these outside linebackers are going to have a huge task today, especially matching up against these tight ends, and a great job. Cree Higgins does a great job reading that route and getting a hand on that football.
Punt away by the punter for St. Louis. A nice spin move on the return gets Atlanta up to the 44-yard line. Are you a next level SFL fan? Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player and to join our community. Check out League Leaders. We've got stats from all 17 seasons of SFL action and track game, season, and career numbers of all the players over time who have gone from couch to field. The Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong. Dynasty, aired it out behind the defense. All it takes is one play for Boo Chisholm to give the Swarm the lead.
Play there by Boo Chisholm. It's nothing fancy. It's just a deep post route, but he sees, listen, Dynasty sees that they've got split safeties right here. They're just playing a generic nickel formation, and he knows that if his guy can get behind those safeties, and just a great job there by Boo Chisholm running that route to perfection, and an even better ball by Dynasty.
It's coming down towards Halloween time, and Boo Chisholm is going to be in St. Louis's nightmares after that play. Extra point on the way from Sammy Steele. It is up. It is good. Atlanta takes a 7-3 lead. So we wondered when one of these teams was just going to try and take the top off of a defense, and we saw it right there.
Yeah, excellent job. And I think that you got to look at the leading up to it. So you see, I mean, they were trying to run BDG up the middle. They were putting a lot of emphasis on BDG out in the outsides with the screen passes. Just a great job. And all of that was to bring their safeties up gradually so that they could hit Boo Chisholm over the top and setting Atlanta up with a great lead here in the second quarter.
St. Louis will start at their own 22. And I think the most important thing for the Gladiators here is to not panic. You're only down 7-3 in the first half. It's easy to get into that mindset when your opponents hit you for a big play like that to think, oh, we got to go get it back. Just do what you were doing the first drive of the game. They drove all the way down inside the red zone, just couldn't get it into the end zone. But it was a beautiful, consistent drive from St. Louis, and they haven't really got back to that. Here is Christian Brown out into the flat for Bill Cherry, trying to shake off a defender, can't do it. A gain of only 2 on the tackle by Garrett Hudson.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Michael, with what you were saying. There's no need to panic if you're St. Louis right now. Really, what you're trying to do is get back to what works for you, get back to your game plan, and really try and find a way to utilize Phil Cause, use Clausen, use Cairo Martinez. These receivers are probably going to be shut down for a good bit.
Cairo Martinez on a long drop, going to come back over the middle to Martinez. He's going to be close to a first down, third and less than a yard. Jack Napier dragged him back to prevent the first down, and now it looks like Martinez might be getting some work in the trenches.
Yeah, you want to see Martinez just push a little bit harder on that just to pick up the first down. Now they're in a 3rd and inches situation.
This would be huge for Atlanta's defense and really cement their momentum in the way of the green and blue. It's going to be a toss out to Cairo Martinez, and Martinez breaks a tackle and gets a first down.
Yeah, St. Louis taking a page out of Atlanta's playbook here. Just a heavy set here, and they're just really running a screen route to Cairo Martinez out to the side. It was actually split, so they had the fullback running a screen on the other side. It was just a great drawn up play for St. Louis in a 3rd and inches situation.
And I love that play because it gives the quarterback a very clear decision tree. One route's covered, you go to the other one. Both routes covered, well, the middle's probably open. You can take off and run for a yard.
Absolutely.
A little bit of power back action for Martinez. Won't get very far, only a single yard off the left-hand side.
Yeah, great job to stop after that big first down run or that big first down pass for St. Louis. Good job for Atlanta to slow down momentum and really just clog up the middle of the line there.
Look at all the blue shirts in the box.
Yeah, this could be dangerous on a tight end route.
Only a 4-man rush, though. Oh, it's an interception! And Bill Cherry saves a touchdown as Jack Napier had his eyes on the end zone. That's just an effort play from the Joker, Jack Napier.
This is an unbelievable read by Napier. He's just playing his zone coverage. He sees Cherry coming out. After that big first down gain on the screen pass, he says, you're not going to get me. You're not going to fool me twice here, and reads the route, jumps in front of it, and gets a one-handed interception. Great job, though, nonetheless, by Bill Cherry to stop that from turning into points.
3 interceptions by the Atlanta defense. They call it the air traffic control unit, the Atlanta secondary, and all flights from St. Louis have been grounded so far. BDG Hollywood spinning in the backfield, getting 3 yards.
Yeah, great job. Just a nice little spin move. It's his iconic move, isn't it? Just a great job making somebody miss and doing a really good job picking up, a couple 3 yards on first down, setting up a more 7-7 manageable.
Yep. BDG Hollywood definitely has the spin-to-win mentality. And look out. Dynasty almost gave it back immediately, but just floats it into the hands of Siege Falco. Surprised we haven't seen Falco, Ryan Roosevelt, and Boo Chisholm. I mean, Boo Chisholm did have the touchdown, but that was the first time he touched the ball. But Falco and Roosevelt haven't really been involved through this first half.
Yeah, Michael, and I believe that's because this secondary for St. Louis is nothing to sleep on either. I mean, Drew Reilly has got 6 interceptions on the season, Geralt Winkler's got 9, and Nicholas Warner's got 10.
Up the middle on a power set. That's the fullback, Mitchell O'Brien, on his second carry of the day. Doesn't get anything, and it's 4th and 1, and here comes the punter. So a promising Atlanta drive off the interception will just result in a punt, it looks like, unless they're going to try and go for this on 4th down, and they will set up to try and go for this. I'm surprised they didn't just try and kick a field goal, but it is the first half. Maybe they can drive St. Louis off sides here with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, they're just trying to get him to jump here, and, really credit to St. Louis because it looks like they're being pretty disciplined.
And when I saw Chris Smith, I was concerned. I was like, they're well into field goal range. Why are you sending your punter out there? Which is a little bit of misdirection. St. Louis doesn't fall for it, and now Sammy Steele will try to put the Atlanta Swarm up 7.
Yeah, this would be a big field goal for them, making it a touchdown lead. But nonetheless, I think this is you have to, if you're St. Louis, you're looking at this like a win because you're not giving up 6 points, or 7 points on a really dangerous interception that could have gone for 7 by itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at St. Louis, they haven't gotten anything through the run game. Christian Brown's been picked off 6 times. If you're the coaching staff, if you're Andrew O'Reilly and Frank Castle on the St. Louis sideline, the kick from Sammy Steele is up and good from 41 yards, and it's a 10-3 Atlanta lead. If you're the St. Louis coaching staff, what are you trying to do to get Christian Brown back into the game?
Well, here's the thing. I think you've got to go back to what you did on that first drive. St. Louis, they came out in the first drive, and they ran a bunch of heavy sets with 2 tight ends, and really what it's doing is it's drawing Atlanta's base defensive package, where their tight ends are matched up against outside linebackers. That way, corner routes, any kind of post routes, things like that are going to be very effective. I think you get back to that, try and utilize Cairo Martinez in those screen passes or even some hitch passes or some checkdowns, but really just play it safe and really don't take any shots unless you absolutely have to. And just let time be on your side for this. You're only a touchdown down. There's nothing to panic about.
St. Louis will start from their own 20-yard line. 4:24 to go in the first half. St. Louis, after a strong opening drive, it's been all Atlanta, and it continues to be all Atlanta as Bill Cherry gets no love over the middle.
Yeah, the Atlanta defense just continuing to take control of this game. It was an excellent job by the front 7 there to prevent any gain on that first down.
Second and 10. Brown still under center. It's going to be Martinez. Beautiful blocking up front, and Cairo Martinez almost gets a first down. It's going to be 3rd and less than a yard.
That's what you want if you're St. Louis. That was an excellent job there by the offensive lineman, just creating a nice space for Cairo Martinez to work with, setting up a 3rd and inches here, and this could be really, really good for St. Louis's momentum.
Well, last time on 3rd and inches, Christian Brown threw an interception on an out route. This time they're going to keep it simple and go right up the middle with Cairo Martinez for a first down.
Yeah, excellent job getting back to it. Trusting your guy on 3rd and inches, not doing anything crazy. Trusting your guy to go up and get the yards. Even though this is against the number 3 run defense in the league, this is an excellent job. New fresh set of downs for St. Louis.
And really what St. Louis needs to do is just keep the ball, preferably for the rest of the half, to keep their defense on the field, because the St. Louis defense has to be gassed at this point. Over the middle, that's a dart, and that is hauled in by Phil Cause at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, though. I think St. Louis's defense is tired. You want to play this safe. You want to take 5 here and 5 there. You don't want to try any crazy shot plays, and that was a dangerous throw there. Great job by Phil Cause, showing why he's paid the big bucks in the league and holding on to that.
And right there was the 10-season veteran Aquantis Shine, number 2 all-time in tackles in the SFL. Cairo Martinez now finding a little bit of momentum as he powers forward for another first down.
Yeah, Michael, I think we're seeing Cairo Martinez momentum. I mean, you can see his confidence just shooting up after a couple really big first downs, and this is really looking really, really good and promising for St. Louis.
Shine's still well behind Eddie Gage for number 1 in tackles all time, but is very healthily in at the number 2 spot. There's another one up the middle for Martinez, and this is what the St. Louis Gladiators want to do. They want to pound the rock with Martinez, and they're finally getting a little bit of love. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's the Gladiators trying to even it up with the Swarm as we head towards the end of the first. This is the Simulation Football League Sunday Showcase, presented by APM Music On for the Fans.
Welcome back to the SFL on FTF. Game break update from Queen City as DC gets the first touchdown on the board today, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, Sebastian Synergy drops back here and finds Bolo Young, the tight end, on a little short out route. He falls into the end zone. DC's up 10-3.
If Atlanta wins, they get the 3 seed, but if they lose, a DC win could help them get a bye. Back to Mike and Mike and Mike and Mike and Mike and Mike and Mike in Atlanta.
Thank you, Cameron. I love those New York Knights throwbacks for Queen City today. Bill Cherry On a run up the middle will actually lose a yard. 3rd down and 2. If you're just joining us, I'm Michael Toretto. Mike O'Neill is alongside me. St. Louis trying to tie this one up before the half. Minute 46 to go in the first, in a pivotal matchup for playoff seeding with the Atlanta Swarm. On 3rd and 2, Bill Cherry, beautiful tackle of the hole. He's going to be driven backwards and stopped.
Yeah, that's an excellent job by this Atlanta Swarm defense, swarming that football and just doing a great job plugging the middle of the field up. After giving up a couple big first downs on the running, just a great job to bounce back there.
4th and 1, St. Louis set up to go for it. And Atlanta threatened and didn't. St. Louis will. It's Bill Cherry. This time he's got the space to move the chains, and the Gladiators, with a gutsy call, continue the drive. Under a minute to go. They have 3 timeouts, but they like this formation. They're going to go up tempo.
Yeah, great job. Back-to-back screen routes.
On the swing.
Great job.
Yeah,
Wow.
on the swing to Martinez. Only 2 yards there. St. Louis might want to think about using a timeout here to get out of this formation. This time down the field, incomplete. Off the knee, it looked like, of Jay Miraculous. Looking for cause, and it's finally stops the clock at 37 seconds to go.
Yeah, Jay Miraculous doing a great job just playing just heads-up football and being aware of the situation. They know that they're going to check it down. They went back to back in the check downs, and Jay Miraculous does a good job staying back where he needs to as a safety.
And now, looks like St. Louis is going to try to go down the field with it. Christian Brown's already thrown 3 interceptions today. He steps into the pocket. He airs it out. It's interception number 4.
What a
and it's
play
Jack
there.
Napier's second.
Jack Napier with his 2nd interception on the game, and just an excellent jumping. What a play. I mean, just to go up and to grab the interception like that. I mean, these Atlanta Swarm defensive backs, there's a reason they call it the air traffic control. It is unbelievable how just aware these guys are of where the football is.
First season in the green and blue of Atlanta for Jack Napier. Spent 4 seasons before that with the Mexico City Aztecs. And now Bryant Dynasty have company of 27 seconds to get something on the board before halftime. But it looks like the Swarm will go into the break content with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any rush here, Michael. I think they're very content with how this first half went. They're up 7. Obviously, Boo Chisholm right there on a nice out route, and you could see he wasn't trying to go out of bounds. They already had it in mind that they were going to take this to the half.
Boo Chisholm just seeing if he can get something going. He can't. He gets the first down with the clock. Hits 000. So we ended up getting exactly what we thought we were going to get: a defensive contest. 4 interceptions for Atlanta, and a huge touchdown to Boo Chisholm is the difference as the Gladiators trail the Swarm 10-7. We head to the halftime interval, and after this, we'll send it to the studio with Cam and Mike St. Green. Okay. Excuse me, we'll keep it here for halftime. That lets Mike O'Neill describe what he saw in the first half.
Yeah, well, what I was going to touch on, Michael, is that this is a 10-3 ball game, which is very, very manageable for St. Louis. And give credit, St. Louis has thrown 4 interceptions and given Atlanta 4 extra possessions, and they're only up by 7 points. I mean, this is a great job, so I definitely wanted to make sure to give credit to St. Louis's defenses as well. For both sides, looking at both sides, St. Louis really here, we've been saying it the entire game, Michael, get the ball to the tight end, find ways to get them involved, because the passing game has to work today if you're going to want to win this football game. For Atlanta, the opposite side, get VDG involved, keep him involved. Obviously, Boo Chisholm is a great choice to go to. I mean, you've got great receivers there, but St. Louis is no secondary to sleep on as well. So I think for both teams, it's really just play your game and do what you do best. I think Atlanta right now is doing the better job on offense, obviously, but that being said, I definitely think that St. Louis has plenty of time to turn it around. It's not panic mode yet.
You mentioned St. Louis going to the pass game to try and win. They've tried, and they're not winning because the air traffic control is so tight right now. 4 interceptions for the Atlanta defense, 2 for Jack Napier, 1 for Jay Miraculous, and 1 for Chris Henry.
Yeah, the problem is that they're trying to feed it to these receivers on these spread out. Listen, if Atlanta comes out in the sub package, nickel, dime, any of these sub packages, it's dangerous, okay? So what you want to do is try and throw out of these heavy sets. If St. Louis can get the run game going a little bit, enough to where the safeties of Atlanta can respect it and move forward, we could see the tight ends have a bigger second half.
Atlanta has a 3-point lead, and as I mentioned in the lead into the halftime interval, the game is really all come down to one play. As look out, spinning in the hole is Ryan Roosevelt, and Roosevelt gets up to the 37-yard line. He was about a broken tackle away from breaking that one down the field.
Yeah, it's an excellent job on the return by Roosevelt just to set his team up at the 37-yard line. It's a really good field position here.
In the flat to Hollywood, and once again, the linebackers, well, excuse me, that was a corner. That was Freeman Peltier, but the point stands. Excellent lateral movement by the St. Louis secondary.
Yeah, good job. Great awareness there to just see anytime. I mean, you've got eyes on them. St. Louis really needs to have one person at all times with eyes on BDG Hollywood.
Heavy package now. Hollywood going to get some protection, but it does not save him. Look out, here comes Mark Gronick, and the linebacking core for St. Louis continues to have an excellent day.
Yeah, Gronick, he's actually got 105 tackles on the season. He's actually 13th in the league. It's a great job just cleaning up the mess there. That was a dangerous hole that was left open for BDG Hollywood, and good job preventing it.
Neither quarterback has liked third down and long, but that's exactly the position that Bryant Dynasty finds himself in. He's going to air it out. Oh, that's a beautiful pass in traffic. And Jamal Wooding, we haven't mentioned the name of the Atlanta Swarm tight end yet, but he bails out his quarterback. Was that like quintuple coverage?
That is unbelievable. You've got 5 defenders there. It says that much about the throw that Bryant Dynasty made there. Great job by Jamal Wooding, and really just an awesome job moving these chains for this Atlanta team.
Put it up where only the 6'6", 255-pound tight end could go up and get it, and the drive continues. Look out, here's BDG Hollywood dragging a defender for a first down to the 34-yard line. He carried Drew Reilly about 7 of those 10 yards.
Yeah, you've got to watch out about this with BDG Hollywood. You give him an inch and he's going to take a mile. There's a reason that he's been one of the best in the league for a very long time, Michael. And this is a great job by the Atlanta offense. This is a very, very promising drive to come out of the half with for Atlanta.
Number 1 all-time in carries, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and in the top 5 all-time in total receptions. Some of the career highlights for BDG Hollywood, and he's going to continue to break records. That time just a little 3-yard run. Nice tackle in the hole there.
Yeah, that was a really, really good job by Panani, coming up and cleaning up the mess. And that's going to be a big factor here as well, Michael, is the tackling, because St. Louis cannot afford to have missed tackles.
This time it's going to be Mitchell O'Brien, and that's the best run of the day for the fullback as he picks up 7.
Just a great job by O'Brien, just running through the middle, tough running. He's getting skinny there in between the tackles and getting a great pickup there, setting up a 3rd and 2.
Dynasty, jump cut, first down, simple as that. And St. Louis is knocking on the door, Atlanta is knocking on the door of the St. Louis red zone.
Yeah, and this is getting scary, Michael, because St. Louis has got the number 1 rushing defense in the league, and right now they're not looking like it. They're giving up some big yards here on the runs. You want to keep this average for these running backs under 3 yards.
Well, that time it's going to bring the average down a bit. as that's a pretty generous spot for Atlanta to only lose 1 yard there as the right side of the defensive line gets home.
Yeah, this defensive line for St. Louis has been doing a really, really good job in pass rush, but there they come up with a big play in the run defense as well.
Dynasty, time to throw, and completes it. That's a dime. Dropped it in the bucket for Boo Chisholm, and it's first down Atlanta at the 10.
Yeah, Boo Chisholm just showing why he's one of the best. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. His stats this year, he's 5th in the league for yards, he's 7th in the league for touchdowns, and 9th in the league for targets, but just a great throw there by Dynasty. Excellent job finding his receiver.
Atlanta looking to go up by 2 scores. This is their first trip to the red zone. Over the middle pass, caught, fumble the football, and it's dived on by St. Louis, but I'm pretty sure this will go to a review. I'm not sure the receiver had the ball in his hands for long enough.
Yeah, I don't think he did, Michael. I think Wooding got the pass, and I think he got his hands on it. Well, I don't know. He started to make a move there, and this might stick. Now that I saw the replay, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because this is
The home team are challenging.
Well, it is going to be a challenge from Mark Chisholm, and we will see if Siege Falco made a football move or not, and it will come down to the replay official. We get to look at it again, Mike.
Yeah, you see he starts to spin here. I think that this one might not have enough evidence to turn her over.
Well, they're going to turn it. You are correct. Not enough evidence to turn it over. A fumble and a huge stop for St. Louis inside the red zone, and the gap remains at 7.
Yeah, this is a big win for St. Louis to take away the football in the red zone, from Atlanta. Just now it's going to all come down to see what, the quarterback can do. Christian Brown for the St. Louis Gladiators.
They're going to hand it off to Cairo Martinez, hoping he can replicate some of the success of his opposite number, BDG Hollywood, but Leo Jefferson is right there to say no. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, only a 2-yard pickup, but you're trying to get as far. I mean, it's better than a loss here.
Martinez again. Nowhere to go. Falls forward for a gain of 3. 3rd and 5. And now they're going to have to go to the air or risk punting from their own end zone.
Yeah, this is a tricky situation. You're at the 10-yard line, and they teach you anytime you're inside your own 10, you want to run the ball, but you really need to pick up this first down.
Christian Brown.
Good.
That's a laser. Oh, and it's just too far in front for the receiver to hang on.
What a play by the defender. Eagle Mondavi trying to make a highlight reel catch there for the first down, but just an awesome job by the safety to come up and clean it up and lays the lumber on him to where he cannot hold on to it. That is an excellent defensive play. Big stop for Atlanta.
J. Rock with the hit. Rocked Mondavi, forced the ball out, and now St. Louis is going to have to punt from the back of their own end zone, and Atlanta, even though they lost the fumble inside the 5, are going to have good field position here, and all they lost was just a bit of time. Atlanta comes after the punt, doesn't get it. Fair catch called for inside the 40 by Roosevelt. And Atlanta will have a short field to work with, 5:43 to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, St. Louis
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say St. Louis defense is really going to have to step up here, with Atlanta having the ball inside their own 38.
BDG Hollywood began to show his dominance on the last drive. He'll get the ball first on this drive, but only gains 1. SFL, for the first time in nearly 3 years, the SFL will broadcast playoff games on its own network, and for the first time will offer simulcasts of the playoff games on all SFL platforms: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Check out the 2 wildcard matchups, Saturday, October 16th at 1 p.m. and Sunday, October 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern on all platforms. And stay tuned for official team and commentator pairings. Oh, look out. Here goes BDG Hollywood. Takes 2 defenders to bring him down. 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, and that time it took 3. It's pretty impressive what this guy can do, and there's a reason why he's the greatest of all time. But this is unbelievable. Just a great job not only managing the clock and milking the clock, but great job just playing possession for Atlanta.
Underneath, pass caught inside the 20. Siege Falco pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line by Rauger Law.
Yeah, great job by Falco just running the out route, and a better job here by Dynasty by getting the ball to him, because whenever you've got that corner playing on the inside and playing underneath, a lot of the times we can see those corners undercut that route, and that could be a pick 6 if it's going the other way. So great job by Dynasty and Falco.
We've seen the offensive line for Atlanta step up after allowing 3 sacks in the first half. Stretch play, BDG Hollywood spinning, can't get the first down, but had a nice head of steam before he ran into Nicholas Warner on the outside.
Yeah, BDG just doing a really good job at getting his average up. And the offensive line, man, credit to the offensive line. Even, look, you've got a receiver out there blocking and doing an excellent job, number 84. And listen, when you can get your entire team and your receivers blocking in the run game, you're going to have success.
Hollywood again, this time strangled and brought down by Mark Gronick, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, good job by Gronick to get back there and slow down this momentum, setting up a 3rd and short for Atlanta.
St. Louis would love to hold the Swarm to a field goal. Last time Atlanta was down here inside the 10. A fumble by Siege Falco gave the ball back to St. Louis, and BDG Hollywood cannot get away from Gronick once again. Loss of 1, 4th and 2, and it looks like they will force the Sammy Steele field goal attempt.
Back-to-back huge plays by Gronick. Another tackle for loss there, and just a great job by St. Louis's defense. And this is going to stay a 10-point game, even if Atlanta makes this. So great job. No need to panic if you're St. Louis.
Kick on the way from Steele. It's a relative chip shot from 26 yards, and it is good. Atlanta takes a 10-point lead, 13-3. And for after that opening drive where St. Louis drove down inside the 10 and couldn't finish, they've had basically nothing on offense, throwing 4 interceptions in the intervening time.
Yeah, I think you're seeing just a lot of panic by St. Louis as far as, they're getting in a 3rd down and 5 situations, these 3rd manageable situations, and you'll see them come out with 4 wide receivers, it's not their identity.
Would help with good field position, but they'll be at the 22. That's around where they've started just about every drive in the ball game. SFL fans, have you ever wondered what it would be like to play in the SFL instead of sitting on the sidelines? For the newest SFL participants, the SFL's minor league kicks off its 4th season Friday, October 15th. The SFL's YouTube channel is home to minor league action at youtube.com/simulationfl. To get onto the field and into the action, visit simulationfl.net to create a player today. Cairo Martinez fights through and gets 3 yards. He was a SFLM player back in the day, was Martinez.
Yeah, just a great job there by Martinez, and that's a hard-earned 3 yards, Michael. That was an excellent job for St. Louis, and good job to Atlanta to continue to contain him and keep him to those short distances.
Cherry on 2nd and 7. He's been pretty well contained too. Only a gain of 2. And in the battle of the run defenses, got to say Atlanta's has done better today because BDG Hollywood is starting to get warmed up on the Atlanta offensive side.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Atlanta has done a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but definitely a little bit better with BDG Hollywood. We'll see if St. Louis can change that, though.
Well, they're not going to change it this time as Sammy Steele got turned around and dropped for a loss of 1 in the backfield by Cree Higgins. And it's 4th down, 3 and out for St. Louis. Atlanta is going to get to run at that tired St. Louis defense once again.
Yeah, no success there for St. Louis. Just punt it away, trust your defense, and try and keep Atlanta away from the end zone again.
And the Swarm will get the ball in decent field position again. Not quite inside St. Louis territory, but they're going to be at their own 40. No return by Roosevelt. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team helmets and jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Ooh, almost an interception that time as it was in and out of the hands of the defensive back for St. Louis. Dynasty, a little bit of a loose throw there to begin the drive.
Yeah, Panani almost jumped in front of that, and I think had he grabbed it, he could have taken it back to the house too. St. Louis has got to start capitalizing on these situations. You know, they need to turn these pass breakups into interceptions.
St. Louis without a takeaway in the ball game. They love one right here. BDG Hollywood is not about to let that ball get out of his grasp. However, oh no! Look out! It's the BDG Hollywood show! 60 yards and an Atlanta touchdown!
What an excellent play there by BDG Hollywood. We were just talking about how he was getting heated up, and I think you called it, Michael. Just a great job by this offensive line here to give him some room, but BDG Hollywood is gotta be the hardest man to take down in the SFL. This is unbelievable. Way to capitalize for your offense.
Well, we waited for 2.5 quarters, but BDG Hollywood finally gets free, shows his shiftiness in the secondary, and runs away from everybody, breaks 2 tackles for good measure, and it's a 2-score Atlanta lead.
Wow, I think Atlanta wants this number 3 seed, huh?
And with Queen City down to the DC Dragons right now, they're in the second half. They would lock up the number 3 seed with a win. Deal's extra point is good. 17 points, the advantage for Atlanta as they take advantage of another St. Louis 3 and out, 1:04 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, St. Louis is in a situation now. Now suddenly it's a 17-point deficit, and now it's kind of scary. You don't want to be in this situation if you're St. Louis, because now you kind of have to stray away from your identity. And, it's going to take the exact right plays drawn up for this.
Well, St. Louis' defense kept them in the game for a long time. They had a chance to impose their will on the game, but the Atlanta defense was up to the challenge at every turn after that initial field goal and has just stifled the St. Louis offense this entire game.
Yeah, this defense for Atlanta has been nasty.
And they might look to continue that right here and prey on Christian Brown and the Atlanta offense. The St. Louis offense. Bill Cherry gets the call and gets 3. Been a lot of work for Bill Cherry today. That was his 7th carry. But only 7 yards on those 7 carries for Cherry.
Yeah, I get the calls. You know, you're trying to get it to your fullback, hoping that Atlanta's zoned in on Cairo Martinez. But, just got to have a little bit more efficiency.
Martinez not doing much better. He's got 16 carries for 42 yards. That's only 2.8 yards per carry as the Atlanta Swarm defense is doing it well on both ends, both the front 7 and the secondary.
Yeah, great job there by Atlanta to shut the run down, setting up a 3rd and 7 for St. Louis. See what they've got dialed up here, Michael.
Christian Brown Airs it out into single coverage, and this time it's not picked, but it's knocked away by Napier. You know he wanted that hat trick of interceptions, but it will not be this time. It's a third straight St. Louis 3 and out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jack Napier is very, very impressive, especially in this showing. The fact that he can blanket some of these, I mean, let's not, we got to be honest here. The wide receivers, Delavu and Mondavi, are no slouches. These are good receivers.
And they have not gotten any love against this Atlanta secondary today. That punt returned by Roosevelt up to the 45 will bring an end to the third quarter here in the Hive. The Swarm dialing up the intensity as they look to lock up the third seed and get a bye to the first round of the SFL playoffs. Fourth quarter action coming up when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League Sunday Spotlight presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Fourth quarter action on tap from the Hive in Atlanta. Michael Trevello, Mike O'Neill here with you. Mark Chisholm and Chris Porter on stats. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green are in studio. Second down and 7 after the 3-yard out to Siege Falco. And Mike, the first half was very close. The second half, not so much, as Atlanta has pulled away through big plays.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to come down to St. Louis. Really, just I think you're going to have some luck on this. First thing first, they need a stop on defense against Atlanta.
Good luck getting a stop. Oh, look out. Hollywood going the wrong way. Makes a spin move. Makes another. Almost gets a first down. That was ridiculous, PDG Hollywood.
What did I just see, Michael? That was insane. That was unbelievable. It went from a gain to a loss to a gain to a loss to a gain again. That was incredible.
You mentioned before on the touchdown run for Hollywood, he's the hardest man to bring down in the SFL, and he's proved it right there. 2nd and 1, and Hollywood this time only needs half a yard to push the ball over the line to gain 1st and 10.
Hollywood is just making this St. Louis front 7 collapse. And let's be honest, it's not entirely, I don't want to say it's not entirely their fault. Their offense has put them in a situation to stay on the field longer than they needed to. And this is what you're seeing. It's the after effect of what you're seeing.
Yeah, and this went from a St. Louis front line that had 3 sacks in the first quarter and 10 minutes. Middle to Chisholm, gain of 7, to not even getting a hint of pressure in the last quarter and a half.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Atlanta's offensive line has been night and day since coming out of the second half. And we'll see what they continue to do here, but so far it's been impressive.
Atlanta just looking to drive out the last 9 minutes and 14 seconds of the clock, and there's no better man to do that than BDG Hollywood as he scampers off the right-hand side for another first down. If the Swarm hang on to this, they would pick up the number 3 seed in the playoffs. And the number 12 seed, last team in, would fall to St. Louis.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But nonetheless, I think that both of these teams, I think St. Louis is better than they're showing right here. Both of these are great teams, obviously, to be in the playoffs, but St. Louis definitely needs to change something up on defense here.
BDG Hollywood just moving those chains, continuing to drain the sand through the hourglass. Let's take a look at playoff implications. With a win, Atlanta gets a first-round bye as the number 3 seed. St. Louis, if the results hold, I'll wait till finish my thought after this second down play. Hollywood, nothing doing. Stopped off the left-hand side. And it's 3rd down and 6. So if this result holds, Atlanta wins, gets a first-round bye as the number 3 seed. St. Louis would travel to Vancouver because DC is currently winning. If Queen City comes back and defeats the Dragons, Queen City would host the Gladiators in the first round. That's sack number 4. We said the defense needed something, and they got it. It's the 4th sack of the day for the St. Louis Gladiators, and Tom Tanner gets in on the action. And now all 4 defensive linemen have a sack on Bryant Dynasty today.
Yeah, and it's sad because you just wish that there was more to show for, but Tom Tanner just does an excellent job there. Nice little rip move, getting through, working on the on the left tackle, and setting up a long field goal for Atlanta.
This will be exactly a 45-yarder for Steele. Puts the right foot through it, and that would have been good from 55. That was well through the uprights as Atlanta takes a 20-point lead.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see if you're a St. Louis fan, but, you know, you've got 7 minutes, and we've seen crazier things happen in the SFL.
At this point, St. Louis, obviously they don't know the result of the other game yet. We don't know because Queen City from 17-3 down has come back to make it 17-13. So we can't really speculate on the playoffs just yet until we finalize these last 2 results of the regular season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Queen City coming back there, and you know, it seems to be a trend with DC, right, Michael? These close games.
Yeah, DC loves to play close games, and unfortunately they don't really win as much of them as they should. But the Dragons have shown promise this season. Cairo Martinez driven back by a blue wall right at the line of scrimmage. Will get forward progress, but nothing more. Hudson with a big tackle to lead the charge.
At this point, Michael, you really got to abandon the run if you're St. Louis. 6:50 left in the game. You really, really got to, you know, start airing it out. And this is a good situation right here. You got one single safety high and all the corners pressed up. So we could see a big play here.
Brown, time to throw. He threw it behind his intended receiver, Elsie Mondavi, and it was knocked away. 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, just a really missed opportunity there. You had a great look offensively with their defense pressed up and only having one safety back. But just not a fan of the play call. We'll see if they can correct it here on 3rd down.
They're going to be in the same formation with 4 wide receivers and a tight end. The bell tie snap to Brown. He's going to go down the field with it, and it's almost another pick for Napier. And it is 4th down and 10. Another 3 and out for St. Louis. And it's just been a struggle for the Gladiators on offense, especially in this second half.
Yeah, and the passing game has been just so, it's been near impossible. And you wonder because they haven't tried to get it back to Phil Koss. And it was working on the first drive. So, just wondering what the offensive coordinator for St. Louis is doing right now.
In the second half for Atlanta, 16 run plays, 4 punts. So that's a 3 and out on every single drive. They have not gotten a first down yet since the halftime interval.
Yeah, they've just been, we'll see what they can do, but they've really, with a 20-point lead right now, you're just trying to milk the clock.
Hollywood back to pass. Has time underneath. Complete. Boo Chisholm moves the chains does not move the chains, but gets 6 yards on the play.
Excellent first down there, just running an in route or a drag route, whatever you want to call it. And just a great job finding the open man, putting the ball out in front of him. Dynasty just does a good job delivering that one to Chisholm.
And Dynasty really hasn't had a lot to do today, except be sacked 4 times because it's been all the rush game with BDG Hollywood. Flag on the play. Hollywood doesn't go anywhere, but it's a free play nonetheless. Second penalty on the St. Louis front line in the ball game. That'll be on Tom Tanner, who got the last sack for the Gladiators.
Just undisciplined. You don't want to see this from St. Louis at this time. Like, you can't be beating yourself.
That moves the chains forward for a first down into St. Louis territory at the 48-yard line. Hollywood running right. Had open lane to the outside. Was a good tackle there that brought him down. That was Nicholas Warner, the safety. Coverage of the SFL 17th postseason begins Saturday, October 16th on Next Level Sports at 4 p.m. Eastern with the league's top wildcard matchup. For the fans, coverage begins Sunday, October 17th with a league playoff pregame special at 2:30 p.m. Eastern before kickoff at 3 o'clock. To find Next Level Sports and For the Fans channels on your devices, visit It's Next Level, that's ITSNEXTLEVEL.com and FTFnext.com so you don't miss a minute of the action. Playoffs coming up next weekend. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, just a great time in the SFL.
Yeah, both of these teams will be there. Atlanta won't be playing next week because they will likely have a bye. Who St. Louis is playing, we still don't know yet because that hangs in the balance of the other game that's going on right now, DC and Queen City. And, of course, if anything major happens in that game, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will be here to tell you about it. 4th and inches after that BDG Hollywood run didn't quite get there. This clock now going to run down under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think that was a bad spot, too. I think that he really got the first down.
Atlanta just aggressive. And they get the first down. BDG Hollywood leaping, hurdling over fallen defenders and picks up a move of the chains, and that will bring the clock inside of 3 minutes.
Yeah, just a great job. BDG Hollywood doing a wonderful job. He comes into this game and they say, oh, listen, we're going against the #1 run defense. And he says, so what? So what? Excellent job there by Atlanta's offense.
So what, to the tune of 24 carries, 147 yards, and a 63-yard touchdown. Nothing doing for Hollywood there. So, trying to put season 17, or at least the regular season, in perspective here, Mike. What has been your favorite moment of the season so far?
Man, well, there's a lot of them. I'll be honest with you. There's been a couple of them. for me, the crazy thing isn't necessarily one moment. Obviously, you could talk about last night's upset with London over Baltimore, and there's plenty of upsets you can talk about. But I think for me, it's just the swing of momentum through this league is unbelievable. So you have teams, I mean, like Louisiana, who started out rough, then picked it up and looked like a really, really, really good team for a while, and then started falling back off. And it's just unbelievable how teams can make that kind of transition. I don't know if I could narrow it down to one direct moment, but it is unbelievable to see just the progression that you have in this league.
2-minute warning in the Hive. Atlanta just trying to drain the clock and pick up the 3rd seed in the playoff bye. This is the SFL Sunday Spotlight, presented by APM Music, Gone for the fans. Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia, deep in the heart of the Peach State. The Atlanta Swarm have a healthy lead over the St. Louis Gladiators as we're just looking to run out the last 2 minutes of clock as St. Louis starts to use their timeouts. Coming out of this break, Mike, I wanted to talk about something positive for St. Louis because it's been a uphill battle for them today, especially on offense. But Season 17 marks the first time in the progression era that St. Louis has finished back-to-back seasons with the same quarterback. I'm going to run you through the entire list of players that have played quarterback for the St. Louis Gladiators since Season 10 as Sammy Steele gets up for a 44-yard field goal, hit a 45-yarder on their previous drive and hit it convincingly. That's a poor snap. The hold just gets up there in time, and the kick is good from 44. So now it is a 23-point lead. So in Season 10, Dylan Asil and Ethan Alexander. Dylan Asil in Season 11 came back. Moody Mitchell in Season 12. Noah John, Season 13. Johnny Pickler, as we all know, in Season 14. Javier Vasquez, Season 15. And now 16 and 17, it's been Christian Brown. And one of the things that St. Louis has struggled with in multiple positions over the course of their organization has been turnover. But they did return a lot of players for this season. They are making the playoffs for the second time. Should be for the third time in team history, for the second time in a row, made the playoffs last season, and things seem to be looking up in the gateway to the West.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're exactly right, and the turnover has killed this team, right, at that position. But you've got Christian Brown here coming in here, and this is second season. Obviously, he's got leading this team. I mean, last year they were 7-5. This year they were trying to make it to 7-5, but it really looks like they're going to be, 6-6 at 500. But that's really, 500 is not a bad place to be. There you can see clearly, the progression moving forward. And I think that this team could be. I mean, they're making it to the playoffs, so this team could be very, very, very fun to watch next season. And I think Brown has an impressive future, moving forward for this team.
All right, we have a game update ready for you. Cameron Irvine, Mike St. Green, what's going on? It's craziness with Queen City and DC.
Thank you, Torillo. Just when you thought DC was going to blow another one, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, this DC offense has struggled the whole second half. They were up 17-3 at halftime, but Jack Russell takes matters into his own hands and returns it all the way for a pick six, and DC is up 2 scores.
And Mike Churchill just scored a touchdown. This is all with their leading receiver, Josh Gill, injured. DC gonna roll.
I am being reminded in the chat at twitch.tv/FTF that I missed a quarterback. I missed Jalen Thomas, who quarterbacked the St. Louis Gladiators for a very brief period. I did mention Ethan Alexander back in season 10. Thank you to Dwayne Schindler for keeping me updated on all things St. Louis Gladiator. So now with DC, gonna hang on for a convincing win against Queen City. We know that Atlanta will be the 3 seed. St. Louis will be the 12 seed. So St. Louis will travel to Vancouver for the wild card round. That's going to be an interesting matchup between the Legion and the Gladiators. Backups are in for Atlanta, and slinging it around is Christian Brown, trying to get some respectability back into the scoreline of the last minute 11. Brown, short, middle, caught by Cause, forced backwards, and that's only going to be a gain of 5. As the Gladiators go up tempo, Cause racing to get back set. Against only a 3-man rush, Christian Brown going to go deep. It's tipped. It's incomplete. Jay Miraculous with a diving deflection.
Well, he's been all over the field today, hasn't he, Michael? Just a great job by Jay Miraculous to really just pinpoint exactly where that ball's going to get thrown. He knows it's underthrown. Christian Brown really could have put a little bit more oomph under that ball, but great job nonetheless by Atlanta's defense. And, St. Louis just trying to get anything that they can squeeze out right now.
I mean, it's been comprehensive by the Atlanta defense. 4 interceptions, 38 total tackles for the Swarm. On this drive, with less than a minute to go in the fourth quarter, is the first time in the second half that St. Louis has gotten a first down. They've limited Cairo Martinez to only 42 yards on 17 carries. And only 152 yards, for Christian Brown with, as mentioned, those 4 interceptions.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It has just been absolutely crazy, the caliber of Atlanta's defense in this second half. To not give up a first down until the end of the fourth quarter nearly is impressive.
Brown middle caught. That was Elsie Mondavi. Brown, once again, middle. Eagle Mondavi. Let's see if St. Louis can put it in the end zone here in the final 25 seconds. They have 1 timeout remaining. Christian Brown tries to go to Phil Cause, and it is knocked away expertly by Peyton Chisholm.
I think Atlanta just proving that they're deserving of this number 3 seed today. It has been an outstanding showing. And I mean, to come out and have near 150 rushing yards against the number 1 rush defense. Not only that, but have 4 takeaways, interceptions. That's impressive.
3rd down and 18 seconds to go. Brown, middle, bobbled, caught by Cause inside the 5. St. Louis timeout. They'll have first and goal to the 3.
Yeah, great play there. Just trying to get it to Cause in the middle, and this is about as narrow of a window as you can have as a receiver. And this is wow, that is a contested catch, but just goes to show you why Cause is so good and having such a great season.
They're going to have 1, maybe 2 plays here to get the ball in the end zone. Brown floats it. Incomplete, was looking for Cause. Cree Higgins, who's been another impressive player today, knocked it away.
Yeah, Cree Higgins having himself a day. He's had, I believe, 3 pass breakups today and just really been all over it because he was tasked with a huge, huge matchup against Phil Cause, and he's been holding up so far.
This will be the final play of the game, most likely. 10 seconds to go. Brown, quick hitter, back of the end zone, touchdown. Paul Dillevue hauls it in, and St. Louis finally gets in the end zone with 8 seconds to go in the 4th.
I'll tell you what, Michael, that was a great catch, just a showmanship kind of catch for St. Louis, and a great way to end on a bright note. Even though they're not, going to win this game, at the end of the day, they're still making it to the playoffs, and this young St. Louis team has a lot to be proud of moving forward.
And with this win, we haven't mentioned it today, but the Atlanta Swarm will pick up their division win as well. A St. Louis win would have pushed the Gladiators over the top, but the Swarm, they get it done. It's 26-10. That will be your final score. All that's left to do is kick the ball off one more time.
Yeah, I think if you're St. Louis on this, go into the playoffs, go ahead and start resetting your mind and just start game planning and preparing for who you're going to be facing up against, which is, I think we said Vancouver most likely. That'll be a big matchup for them. And if I'm them, I'm just going back to the drawing board and say, all right, what can we do better as a team looking at us?
St. Louis 0-2 all-time in playoff games, yet to win a postseason game, but they will do battle with the Gladiators next weekend. Atlanta looking to get back to the championship game for the first time since season 14 when they won the whole thing back in 2020. That's your final. The Atlanta Swarm 26, the St. Louis Gladiators 10. It was comprehensive. The first half was close. The second half was all green and blue as it was a dominating defense. They held the Gladiators to under 260 total yards.
Unbelievable. Just a great job. And really the impressive thing here, both of these teams are just barely getting over 300 total yards. But the big thing here, I think the thing that you have to look at is Bryant Dynasty's ability to manage a game. I think that was a huge factor in this win. Obviously, BDG Hollywood having a very impressive showing, but the ability, if you can recall, there were quite a few third down situations where Bryant Dynasty had to make, just get the 5 yards, just get the 7 yards, just get the 6 yards. And he continued to do that over and over and over again and really manage this game.
Tammy Steele, a big portion of the ball game today, 4 for 4 with a long of 45. Really, both teams struggled to get it into the end zone. The 2 touchdowns that the Swarm scored were both big chunk plays. A 63-yard run by BDG Hollywood and a 56-yard pass to Boo Chisholm back in the first half.
Yeah, just the big shot plays, like you said. Nothing for St. Louis to beat themselves up about. I think the big thing is St. Louis needs to figure out going into the playoffs what their identity is, what they believe that they can do as a team, and where they think that their strong suits are. They're going to have to go to the drawing board and figure out, and hopefully come back with a better performance against Vancouver.
The player of the game is BDG Hollywood, 152 yards, 1 touchdown, only 17 receiving yards, as the Gladiators did well to negate those passes into the flat, but that really doesn't matter. That's it from the Hive. And the final broadcast of the regular season of Season 17 is done and dusted. For Mark Chisholm and Chris Porter on stats, Mike O'Neill in the broadcast booth with me, I am Michael Turillo. We're going to go to break, but when we come back, it's the Commissioner, Cameron Irvine, and Mike St. Green in the studio to break down the day that was and to get you primed for the playoffs. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to Sim Football Postgame, along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine, and well, Mike, I think we exhausted all of our drama from Saturday, and Atlanta buried St. Louis and did not make for a dramatic finish. They are now your 3 seed. Queen City, kind of the shocker of the day. They lay an egg against D.C., and finally the Dragons don't have to play a close game. They're going to finish the season 3-9. But, Mike, that is 3 teams this week that had 3 wins or less that beat a playoff team here in Week 12. That is bizarre.
Yeah, impressive from those teams, coming in this week, Cam. They had nothing, to actually particularly play for, but, that shows, hey, man, we're game planning, we're progressing, we're fighting to the end, and we're looking forward to season 18. And they picked this weekend to, hey, we're going to grow and see where we stand going into next season. And great job by DC. They're just now finishing up the win over Queen City. I mean, they've had a tough season. I think 6-7 games of losses of 6 points or less. So congrats go out to them. Finishing out the season strong, and Cam staying out of that number 1 pick spot. I think right now Tulsa may be on the clock for season 18.
That's what it looks like. I think they're the only 2-10 team. DC and Sioux Falls picked up some victories, got to 3-9. So yeah, I think you're right, Mike. It'll be a total rebuild there in Tulsa, and we'll see what they do with their number 1 pick. Queen City slides all the way to 6. That's pretty surprising after they started the season 6-0. Let's focus on Atlanta for a minute before we preview the wild card round and get you your network states and times. the number 3 seed. They've got one championship under their belt, but I don't think the defense was as good that year. This is a heck of a defense in Atlanta, and they are definitely championship contenders.
Yeah, that's a great defense over there in Atlanta. They have a strong defensive line that we don't get to talk about as much, seemingly. But what they do, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and then that allows that secondary to air traffic control, as they call themselves, to kind of roam free. Yeah, and then as my jets fly over at the air show here. These guys take, that allows them to roam free and take chances back there in the defensive backfield, and in turn create a lot of turnovers for this team. As you saw today, they pretty much held Christian Brown and the St. Louis receivers in check pretty much all game long. And they're going to be tough to deal with in the playoffs. I mean, defense wins, but they say offense wins games, defense wins championships, and they're definitely set up to do that in the playoffs.
144 games done once more here in the SFL season 17, and the moment everyone has been waiting for. This is your wild card bracket, and it looks like this. LA is the 9 seed. They will go to Charleston, the 8 seed. LA has one playoff victory as a franchise since season 9. Charleston only has one playoff victory ever. That was back in season 10. That is Sunday, October 17th, and that is your For the Fans game at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis falls to the 12th spot. They go to Vancouver, the 5. That ends your playoffs next weekend, Sunday, October 17th on the SFL family of networks at 6 Eastern. Vegas will visit Queen City. Long trip west to east, and that starts the playoffs Saturday, October 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern on the SFL family of networks. Then your next level sports game next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. London goes all the way to Arizona. London playing in their first playoff game in franchise history, and Arizona playing their first home playoff game in SFL history in the state of Arizona. Those are your 4 wild card matchups for next weekend. Let's start with the For the Fans game, Mike. Los Angeles at Charleston next week. Mm-hmm. As that is going to be a battle between two teams that aren't necessarily used to postseason success, and it should be a lot of fun. First SFL playoff game in South Carolina as well.
Yeah, Cam, I've going in, you would ordinarily think this is going to be a defensive battle. Both teams like to do things on the ground, but this weekend, Charleston kind of changed it up a little bit, and we saw them go to the air a little bit and open things up in that offense. And they're going to be at home. Maybe they're going to take some chances in this game and maybe try to open it up and get Los Angeles in somewhat of a track meet, which may be to their advantage. So this should be a great matchup. It could turn defensive. It could turn into a struggle. We've seen both teams play that way, but it's going to be interesting to see if Charleston opens it up a little bit in the playoffs, or if they're going to play it close to the vest. 2
of the best secondaries in the SFL between Los Angeles and Charleston. And Charleston, of course, under new ownership. Los Angeles just a couple of seasons ago also changed hands, and they're proving that, you can turn an organization around. Charleston doesn't have a win over a team with a winning record this season, but Los Angeles is, for the second consecutive season, limping in, and that game could get interesting.
Yeah, most definitely, Cam. Both of these secondaries are excellent. These guys have, a couple of weeks ago, Charleston won a game strictly on defense, basically with a Jack Brown pick 6 being the only touchdown that they scored in that game. Corey Mena had a couple of interceptions in that game. So that Charleston secondary is great. And as you mentioned, Los Angeles, they have a great secondary as well, led by Rochelle Colston and Ryan Joseph. It's going to be great seeing those two teams go at it defensively. It's going to just be a matter to see which offense can establish themselves and probably not turn the ball over. And that's more than likely going to be the team you're going to see come out on top.
Let's jump to London, Arizona, our other national television game next weekend. The Knights finally make the playoffs. Arizona kind of stumbles. They lose to Mexico City. They like LA, are on a 2-game losing streak. They lose to Mexico City and then Vegas. who ended up being the 11 seed in the playoffs. Arizona finally gets that home playoff game, but it's Johnny Pickler versus Ashley Jackson. This is a really fascinating matchup. It's going to be terrific.
Yeah, Cam, this is an extremely interesting matchup. As you know, these teams met last season, and it was kind of the birth of this London high-flying, throw it all over the field offense in the game that they faced Arizona in last season. Angus McLean had one of his London quarterback at the time, had one of his best games of his career. 39 out of 41, 421 yards, 4 touchdowns. He has since retired and turned the reins over to Johnny Pickler, as you mentioned. But Benji Matson's still on this squad. Ben Callier still on this squad that had huge games in that game as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Eddie Gage and Arizona defense attacks this offense come next weekend. But Arizona, they definitely have weapons as well with the Hans brothers on the outside and DJ Moses out of the backfield. Going to be and obviously a top-notch defense as they typically have. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams match up with one another here in the playoffs this season. And Cam, you know for sure that I'm looking forward to it.
Could Vancouver be in trouble? They get a St. Louis draw. They already lost to St. Louis, and that was just a few weeks ago. That game could get interesting. St. Louis, of course, we know has a gritty defense. They really struggled today against Atlanta, which is why they fell to 12. But what do you think about the Gladiators' chances?
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup for St. Louis. I mean, Vancouver have over the past few weeks have struggled with defensive-minded teams. We know Tom Pepper. As we've talked about, he's a walking 400-yard a game passer. But it just seems like to me that over the past few weeks they've been struggling to get any consistency out of the offense. Robert Redford he hasn't done much on the ground, so to speak. He's been struggling a little bit, pretty much under 50 yards a game over the last few weeks. But to go along with that, we haven't seen much of him out of the backfield, and so that offense has just kind of been kind of disconnected a little bit to me, even though they do put up yards and stats. But Vancouver, they can play defense as well. Gerald Giudice, I'm sorry, up front, Papatonis up front. And that secondary, they played great a couple of weeks ago against Los Angeles. So they are a complete team, well-rounded. But I think the St. Louis defense may give these guys trouble this coming weekend.
How about this last matchup, Las Vegas and Queen City? The Corsairs, another one of these wild card teams that kind of surprisingly is limping into the playoffs. And I think what's interesting here is Vegas and Queen City, they really don't have a history with each other. It's not a matchup that we typically see on the schedule, and Vegas seems to be catching some fire here at the end of the season.
Yeah, and this is just a thought I just had, Cam. This is Vegas' second consecutive trip to the playoffs in as many seasons, but it's also their second consecutive trip with a rookie quarterback. They were breaking in Joseph Green all season long. He didn't come along in the same, I guess, rate or pace as the quarterback last season, but he did come along, and the offense struggled early on. We were waiting to see if they were going to, kind of have a similar season as last season. They weren't as explosive, but they've done a great job of the defense coming through for this team, playing it kind of close to the vest, getting Scott Johnson, their star running back, involved. And then lo and behold, they just won the games that they needed to win. And all of a sudden, here they are in the playoffs when they were kind of written off midway through the season. Kind of after that shutout they had to Baltimore, we did not think we would see Vegas in this position, but here they are. And man, Queen City started out great, and today they really struggled offensively as well. We know how they like to play. They like to grind it out with jet zero on the ground, and and the defense plays pretty solidly. But this should be an interesting matchup next week. Queen City at home may be an advantage. So we'll see. But but Vegas they're going to be there to play, and we're probably looking forward to a close, tight matchup in that game as well.
These two teams have been in the league now 7 seasons together. They have only met twice, and Las Vegas has never beaten Queen City. It could be an interesting matchup because the rookie quarterback, Joseph Green, has been sacked more than any player in the SFL with coming into the week. But Queen City, not necessarily known for their pass rush, and so that could be a favorable matchup for Vegas. But that is what the wild card round looks like. That is what we have in store. Come back to me, Mike, next week, and it's going to be a blast. 144 games down. Thanks to all the viewers out there who stuck with us through another great season. 17 seasons in. We can't wait for the playoffs. We have lots of exciting things that we have a 1-hour pregame next week on For the Fans to get you caught up on what you may have missed in the wild card round and preview the matchups and all types of awesome stuff next weekend. And it's going to be a blast. Mike and I will be here with you all. Any last words, Mike?
Oh, just Cam, it's been great being with you all season, a majority of the season. I wasn't here for the first couple of weeks, but man, it's been great being here with you in the booth with you here all season long. It was a great season 17, and I can't wait for the playoffs next weekend.
All right, for Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, and we'll see you in the playoffs next weekend.